a way to funnel funds, your tax dollars, into somebody private's hands. Because they ruined everything else. So where else can they look? They have to go look and see where the money is. It's like, what did Dillinger say? Why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is. Okay?
Yeah.
So we sat around, a group of 8, literally, and we said, we have to come up with a strategy to stop these school closings because they were destroying communities. So we did community reach out, we did reading, we started just preparing ourselves for a different type of struggle. We wanted to move our union leadership in a different direction. Brothers and sisters, we did not have a plan to actually run the union. We just thought if we could bring what we learned and what we knew to the union, that they would respond and change. Basically, they patted us on our head and said thank you. So, again, we also read Shock Doctrine. Has anyone here read that book by Neil Klein? Good. So we understand what the neoliberal agenda of privatization is about. Okay. So we invited the I'm sorry? Oh. We invited the president, the former president of the British Columbia Teachers Union, to come down to Chicago and give a talk. And she had led an illegal strike. So we said, wow, how did that happen? How did you do that? And she's a very lovely woman with an accent, slightly British accent. And she looked at us and she told us when we had all of the unions and all of the parents and the community organizations helping us, we developed relationships. So she said, and how many of there are you? And there was like 30 of us at this meeting. We've grown from 8 to 30. And so we said, here we are, 30 of us. And she said, oh. Well, you might be able to win a seat or 2 on your executive board. And then when you start building more, in the next 2 or 3 election cycles, you might be able to take over your union. Yeah, 18 months later, we won. Yeah. Let me explain how difficult it was. There were 5 different caucuses running, 5 different slates. There's 150 people on the slate. Yeah, right. I know. So, and we ran a campaign that wasn't, they suck, hire us. We ran a campaign on the work that we had been doing for years. So for 2 solid years, we've been organizing communities against school closings. So instead of, as Rich said, picking off building by building, school by school, we decided, let's get all the people who might be affected by this together, and let's see how we can work together. So we had a giant meeting. This is before we were elected, mind you. We had a giant meeting at Malcolm X College. It was on a Saturday morning. It was a blizzard. And the leadership of the union came and they were smirking. Aha, this little upstart piece of people, what are they doing? We had 500 people show up. Because we were talking to rank and file members. We got together and we went into a session where we asked everyone, what is it you want from your union? If you had a dream, what could your union be? And what we wanted was a union that was responsive to rank and file membership. We wanted a fair contract and a strong contract. We wanted the ability to actually do social justice work. Because we knew that our students are suffering way more from the cuts and the austerity of state budgets. So not only are they losing in schools, they're also losing when mental health clinics shut down, when regular health clinics shut down. Our kids get hit twice, 3 3 times, 4 times. Every single austerity measure that cuts human services affects our kids. So, we got elected on June 11th. The leadership would not let us into the union offices. So, Rich, Freeze, and Local 705 opened up their offices, and we were the shadow union. We'd actually been the shadow union, quite frankly, before then, because we testified at every school closing hearing. We went to every school board meeting. We did all, and we would look around and say, where is our union? Teachers were losing their jobs, our paraprofessionals losing their jobs, and the union's response was, we'll help you write resumes. That's good. I mean, you need to do that too. So, at the time, we were talking about being an activist union and what it meant to be an activist union. And we went to Labor Notes convention in Detroit. How many people have been to Labor Notes? Well, at Labor Notes, I met the president of the San Diego Education Association. And she said to me, you know, activist union is okay, but what you really need is an organizing union. So we were talking about just getting rid of the service model piece and becoming activists. She said, okay, that's fine. But you know, what happens when your issues die down or something else happens? And what happens? What happens when whoever's, you know, you're nowhere if you don't have your membership organized. So we started changing our minds, and we actually had help. We prepared. We went to negotiation school. We didn't know how to run a union. We didn't have a clue. We had no idea how to run a union. And our national, our international was a little scared of us. They were like, who are these people? And I said, well, we need help. And they wanted us to make some concessions to them immediately that we weren't prepared to do. And they weren't going to put me on the executive council. I said, wait a minute. Okay, so let me just get this straight. We are local 1. It's going to look really crazy if the executive council doesn't have the president of local 1 on it. So I use that all the time every chance I get. Local 1. But we did. We went to negotiation school. We went to how to run a union school. We did whatever we could to prepare ourselves.